and welcome to TQ Talks, where we talk taxes and tax-free living 365. Here are your hosts, Craig White, Sebastian Singh, and Patrick Augustin.
And we're back with another awesome, exciting, wonderful episode of TQ Talks. Yay.
Well, I'm going to say good evening because that's when we're recording. But thank you guys for joining us once again, and welcome if you're new to our channel. This is TQ Talks, brought to you by TQ Financial Services. And you can find us on all your podcasting platforms as well as your social media platforms under TQ Financial Services.
Yep. And if you don't know, you're new, again, joining us. Thank you. We're happy to have you. We are a tax and advisory firm, and our job is to help our clients reduce the amount they owe or boost up that refund by doing 365 all year round tax planning. And we also help them to plan for their retirement or living just in general by giving them amazing financial advice, usually driven through life insurance. So we're helping you to create wealth for yourself now as well as for your beneficiaries to come, right? So life insurance is not just for death, by the way, guys.
Generational. That's what we're trying to build here.
Let's not just use it when you die. That's sort of pointless.
Yeah, and who wants to do that? Like, just save only to save them?
Silly, silly, silly. So
hear me out. Give them something.
This wonderful auto economy that we're in, I'm a car guy, right? I love cars. I love speed. And as I've gotten older, unfortunately, I've become way more financially
responsible. But also responsible in life. You have more to lose now. You got the kid. He would be pretty upset. There's Bailey. Of course, Rhea.
The point is, there's no more V10 M5s in my garage. No E60. Oh, God. None of these wonderful things.
No turbo this and supercharge that.
Horrible. This is the only reason we're talking about this, guys, is because we're going into the world of EVs, right? Electric vehicles. And I know automakers have a push. I thought it was 2035, but it looks like it's 2025 is when automakers are saying, look, we're going to get pretty much a majority or a lot of our cars to be fully electric, which, yes, guys, I know the speed is still there. So I'll get that. The sound is not there, but that's not what the point of this podcast is. It's the credit that comes along with this thing, because it seems like it's going to be a credit that the government has to keep for a long time running.
I don't know. They've been battling back and forth on how long they'll keep this credit going. I think this was, whether you like it or not, I think this was a big push by the Biden administration. I don't think it was a big push. They're also transitioning all of their the federal government vehicles. They're trying to transition those all over to EV as well. So, of course, what's going to happen next? They're going to try to influence the car makers, at least in our nation,
right,
to push in that direction as well.
Right. So the EV credit has been annoying.
Hold on. I want to back up.
Oh, back it up.
Are you for or against electric vehicles? Keeping in mind not only the fun, enthusiasm, and whatever else comes with, the car enthusiast world, but also keeping in mind the quote-unquote myth of global warming, whether you believe it or not.
Oh, come on.
Getting gas or getting
Did you say
petrol?
Myth of global warming? Like, really?
I got to put it out there, right?
Wow.
I don't know.
You got to be halfway retarded if you don't think it's there.
Listen.
Not you. I'm saying, listen, if you're listening and you don't think that's real, you go somewhere where there's ice and talk to me.
And what about the fracking, right? All that kind of stuff. Like the environmental harms that combustion.
Why are you trying to sell me on EV, though?
I just want to know your opinion. Keeping in mind the environmental harms that combustion engines have an impact on our earth that we have to live on. How do you feel about combustion engines versus EVs?
So first, I'm going to make sure Rhea and you guys hook up so you can run for some kind of political position, because you just tried to sell. So I'm not going to answer you. Look. If you're a car person, regardless of who you are, what you like, this is a forward-moving, progressive time frame, and it always will be, right? So whether I like V8s, V10s, V12s, or American or European, is irrelevant, because I'm still going to appreciate the changing times. And to answer the question, simply put, yeah, I like electric vehicles,
right,
because they serve a wonderful purpose. Now, I still have a hard time understanding the battery situation, because we can't recycle them, from what I understand. So it still seems like we're causing harm to the planet regardless. I understand, but it seems like we're just swapping.
Sure.
But
maybe we don't know the new problem we're creating.
Well, we do know it. We just don't care right now. So, guys, this is not what the topic is.
Yeah,
the
not at
topic
all.
is about the EV credit, but we're getting around. Again, I like them. So let's look. The EV credit is roughly a $7,500 credit that is given by, of course, the U.S. Treasury, right? The issue that we've been having is every time we talk about the wonderful EV credit, it flip-flops because, as Sebastian spoke about before, administrations, meaning Biden right now, they keep changing the criteria. It has to be manufactured in the U.S. It has to be sold here. It has to be this many parts. It has to be this, that, the third. So
assembled.
Really, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. We're not going to go into those.
Percentage. Yeah. It's very, very intricate, and it kept changing. It's probably still going to keep changing moving forward.
And it just got updated. We're in April, end of April right now of 2023. Just got updated about a month ago, not even. So we're going to go over some of the cars that are still available, right? And some of the cars that got kicked off the list, so to speak. And again, it's for you guys. And let's back up and talk about the credit and what it is first, right? And then we'll go into the thing. So the credit, like I said, is about $7,500, depending on the car. You know, it can go up, down, in between, whatever the case is. But it's a non-refundable credit. I know if you have listened to us before, but you learn what that is. That means that credit is only good to knock away a tax bill that you currently have. Do we need to do an example? You're not. So yes. So if I have a tax bill of $7,500 and the credit is $7,500, I owe nothing.
Correct.
If I have a tax bill of $6,000 and the credit is $7,500, it's just getting rid of the $6,500.
You still owe nothing.
Right, but I won't get a refund of $1,000. That's the whole thing. So it's non-refundable.
Correct.
Right? It only gets rid of a debt that is current.
Now, if we had a liability of $7,000 or $7,500, right? That's our limit. And we paid in $7,500 throughout the year in our W-2s, that would have paid it off, or they would have withheld that amount. We put this in. Now what happens?
Yeah, they get their taxes back. But as long as we're clear that it's not the credit that there is, the credit is not the money that you're getting, it's the taxes that you put out. So to Sebastian's point, if you gave out $6,700, you're not going to get $75. You're going to get $6,700 because that's what you came out in of your money, your pocket.
That's what was withheld
for federal taxes, right?
Exactly.
So as long as we're clear on that. So again, it's a great thought. I'm going to buy a car that's electric anyway. I'm thinking about the environment, right? To your point, maybe for myself, I get a Tesla or any other car, Rivian or whatever the case is. Right. And maybe I got my speed, I got my luxury, I got my performance, whatever you like, and I'm doing something wonderful for the environment. And here comes along this wonderful credit. So all the way around, it seems pretty good. And then here comes this wonderful list of death.
Yeah,
right?
If it's blanketed like that, then of course. Can you get a Tesla? Yeah, you could still get a Tesla. Yeah. Can you get a Chevy? Well, of course, a lot of the stipulations are to try to drive industries in America. So a lot of the barriers
are not, if you're not manufactured, we're not going to go
in
over,
America.
Like
right. We're not going to go so specific, but if you're not manufactured in America, then you meaning the car manufacturer, right? Then you don't benefit as much. So let's go over who can get it. Which cars benefit for or qualify for the $7,500 or the full amount of the EV tax credit?
Well, there's Cadillac Lyriq, Chevy Blazer, Chevy Bolt, and EUV, Chevy Equinox. That's Chevrolet. I'm sorry if everybody's like Chevy.
Right.
Chevy Silverado, Chrysler Pacifica PHEV, Ford F-150 Lightning. That is very interesting.
Listen, that truck is amazing. What?
I can't afford that, right? Lincoln Aviator Grand Touring, Tesla Model 3 Performance. There's your Tesla for Tesla fans. Tesla Y, all-wheel drive, long-range all-wheel drive, and 2022 Performance. Other qualifying or vehicles qualify for the $3,700 because it's $3,740 in tax credit because, again, remember, they're not all the same.
Right.
Ford Escape plug-in hybrid, Ford E-Transit, Ford Mustang Mach-E, Jeep Grand Cherokee PHEV 4xe. It's a lot of stuff. Jeep Wrangler PHEV 4xe, Lincoln Crosshair Grand Touring, and Tesla Model 3 Standard Range rear-wheel drive. So
now, as we stop there, right, I do want to point out that we said you could get a Tesla and you could get a tax credit. It has to be the specific one. So a lot of these models or a lot of these makes and models, the trim is specific to the tax credit, right?
Right.
So you could see that the Model 3 Performance, you get the full $7,500 back, but the Model 3 Standard Range Rear Wheel Drive, you only get the $3,740. So you got to be these things are very specific to not only the maker, the model, but also the trim on how much, or if you're getting any at all.
At all. And if you guys did not notice, all the PHEV, which I guess we just said plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, that means it uses electric and gas. It's still mixed. They're getting a lower amounts. Those are the ones that are usually the 3740, of the credit, because again, you're not fully electric, so you're not going to get the full benefit, which is very interesting. Now, Sebastian, what about the ones that aren't getting? So we could run over that. The brands that are losing access. Listen, they didn't even give you the names. They gave you the brands.
The whole brand.
Oh,
not,
my gosh.
Not the model, not the whole make.
Oh, my God. Audi, BMW, Genesis, Nissan, Rivian, Volkswagen, Volvo, and also Kia and Hyundai, because they are manufactured outside of the U.S.
And and if you know
that's wild.
At least a little bit about the car manufacturers, you heard it from the first list.
Yeah.
You heard that most of those, other than Tesla, I'm sorry, I keep moving away.
Yeah.
Other than Tesla, were made in America.
They're American, companies. That's it.
And with the Tesla, a lot of their parts are from outside, which is why a lot of the other models don't qualify.
That answers that, because obviously you're missing stuff. Just the basic Model 3, which is like the entry level, right? And then the big truck thingy. That's the X, right?
But
the
X,
Y, excuse me. The Y.
The Y qualifies, the X does not.
The X is the car. That's a plaid that everybody likes. That Pat wants,
my God.
My
that's the S. Sebastian. That whatever. Plaid, it costs almost as much as my house.
Okay.
Listen, but also the Tesla Y, it's the specifics of the specific trims.
So things I didn't see on there. Lucid Air. Why is that not on there?
Rivian.
Right. They had one.
Now, if we get into the nitty gritty, though, Craig, there's a lot that goes into that. It's the weight.
Okay.
Right. There are weight classes. There's, of course, percentages that are so specific, like 40% of the battery or more has to be made either assembled in America, made by an American manufacturer, XYZ, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
I will say, though, for our clients to win from, I guess, a lot of the credits in the lane of going green, we have the solar credit.
Yep.
Right.
We're still back on that. I can't believe
on
you're
houses.
Still
No. Because hear me out. Okay. We have the solar credit. We have the impact windows. And we have the EV credit. Now, I'm saying that because a lot of these, like you said, are fully plug-in. Mm-hmm. So if you're thinking about your electric bill going up, you might want to think about solar. And we just tackle all those credits for you next year. Listen, I'm telling you, man.
Oh, man.
You got to do the package deal on it.
So, you brought up something. I'm laughing. And what's our time? We're just talking. But, so you trade off gas for a bigger utility bill. I just thought about it. Like, how bad is... I need to talk to my
Kind of, but you haven't gone solar yet.
So but I want to know how much... But what I'm saying is, if I don't have a solar system, right?
You need one.
No, but... If I don't, I want to.
That's your answer.
I don't want it. I want to know how much did the electric bill adjust? If I'm plugging in that car every night, I just want to know. Like, that's me being curious. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ask him. I'm thinking of one in specific. I'm not going to say your name on mic, but I definitely am going to go by or text you and ask, because I want to know, like, what has been the change. That's a good discussion, right? Because then we have to figure out, if I was paying $100, I probably spend $100 in gas for the month. Yeah. That's all I do. Maybe you might get me at 140.
Does this credit offset?
No, does this car offset?
The car won't offset. You know that, though. We're going to get newer cars.
No. What I mean by that is, if I was paying $150, let's be nice, in because I don't drive
gas for what, the month?
For gas for the month.
Sure.
And then my electricity bill when I bought the car shot up to $200. Then I don't want your electric vehicle, because I paid more for it, 9 out of 10.
See,
and I paid it. I know you're talking about the saving.
Now we got to get nitty gritty, right? Now we're talking about oil changes. Now we're talking about
very true.
Everything else that goes with a combustion engine that you do not deal with these vehicles.
Yeah, but most of the cars that I'm buying or my clients are buying, that's covered.
You paid for it, though.
Yeah.
Hold on. You paid for it, though.
So would you say that the electric vehicles... would you say the electrical vehicles are higher in price than regular vehicles, or less?
I believe, and maybe I'm wrong. I believe they're comparable at this point, depending on the trim levels, of course. Like a Ram is not a Ram, right? A Ram is not, what's the other one? Like Ultra Ram? Or
I got you.
Bighorn, right? They have a Bighorn version. That's not the same, right? Wow. So I think comparable options. Now, a big markup is the engine size when it comes to combustion engine. And with the EVs, it's the amount of range, right? Like how far they can go or their performance level. It's all the same.
So let's read something. Generally,
I'm listening.
Electric cars are more costly to insure than conventional vehicles.
To insure.
Let's keep going. Because electric vehicles are pricier, which is the point, to both buy, and repair, insurance providers may charge their drivers more for coverage.
Back up.
So
Back up.
I'm reading. It's not like I'm making up.
No, I'm hearing you. So they're pricier. Let's quote that.
They're pricier
to purchase.
Okay. To buy. That's what it says.
Hold on.
And to repair.
And to insure. Hold on. No. Well, it's only pricier to insure because it's pricier to repair. Per insurance company, right?
Yeah, that's how it normally works,
that's my point. That's only when it gets like crashed up.
No.
We're talking about
that's insurance.
You and I, maintenance, combustion versus EV.
That said, the savings, I'm reading, by the way, that's not my interrupting. That said, the savings you earn on gas and tax incentives might more than make up for your policy's extra costs. So maybe. I don't know where that came in. You're trying to find something, but I don't know.
That's it. But at the end of the point, again, back to our previous podcast. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's happening. The world is moving towards EV.
Yeah.
There's a tax credit now that you could benefit from depending on. And unfortunately, people like you got to get on board. You got to get rid of your gas vehicle at some point.
Agreed.
Get an EV.
I will. Not a Tesla, but I will.
You should do it soon before these tax credits run out. I could tell you the list.
It won't be in any of those, I'll tell you right now.
But listen,
so I can't have a Tesla in my house, and I sure ain't buying American.
Oh, man, that's tough, right?
It is. Look at that. Lord. I am vetoed.
Right, we are not going into that. What we are going to tell you.
That's for another podcast.
Is if you are interested in the tax credits, you're one of our clients, or you're not, and you want to reach out and just get some information, of course, you can find us on all your social media platforms, as well as your podcasting platforms, whether it be a question about this kind of stuff, anything tax related, tax planning, or figuring out what your next steps are.
Yes, and just to keep you up to date, we are fully venturing into the real estate market. We will definitely be doing a ton of podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Keep
we're ready
for
that, too.
Yeah, so am I. I'm excited. And so we're going to, of course, we'll keep talking taxes because that's what we do. We already said it, 365, but we are also going to be mixing real estate into this wonderful system and as well as on all of our social media platforms, so you guys get a lot of up-to-date information on that. Any questions, 800-413-1456. Thank you so much for spending your time listening to us banter back and forth about everything that we talk about. We really appreciate you guys.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you for listening to TQ Talks. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and recommend on iTunes, SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also get more information at TQFinancials.com.